What's going on, guys? It's Cal here from Buffalo SportsCenter, and today we are going to be making our Week 4 NFL game picks. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Starting with the divisional matchup on Thursday Night Football, we have the Dallas Cowboys going into New York to face the New York Football Giants. Now, this one will probably be a little bit of a boring game. I know a lot of people are kind of disappointed this is starting the week, but you never know. The Giants on the up, the Cowboys on the down. Can the Giants stay hot? I'm going to say no. I think the Cowboys win this one. The Cowboys did not look great in that first half against the Ravens last week, but they started to get it going towards the end of that game, and I think that continues into this one. So I have the G-men, staying in there a little bit, but I got the Cowboys winning this game for sure. Now let's transition to the Sunday slate, starting with the 1 o'clock games. The Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Carolina Panthers, and oh boy, this is going to be a tough one to predict. The Cincinnati Bengals are 0-3. Let that sink in for a little bit. 0-3. Meanwhile, the Carolina Panthers, who seem to be the worst team in football, sat Bryce Young, put Andy Dalton in the game, and all of a sudden Andy Dalton looks like a top 5 quarterback in the league. And the Panthers absolutely blow out the Raiders, who just beat the Ravens the week prior. I mean, what the heck is going on with these teams? I'm going to pick, I think Cincinnati gets the job done. They get their first win on the road in Carolina. There's no way the Panthers win another game this early on. Again, I like Andy Dalton and all that, but Cincinnati's got to get it figured out, and I think this is a perfect opportunity against the Panthers team that maybe got lucky last week. I don't know. Moving on, we have the New Orleans Saints taking on the Atlanta Falcons. Now, this will be a good game. The Saints had a little bit of an off week against the Eagles, had a chance to win the game, didn't. Speaking of teams that had a chance to win the game and didn't, the Atlanta Falcons choked it away against the Chiefs. 2 opportunities at the end of that game to punch it in the end zone, and they were unable to. Give me the Falcons at home, though. I think the Falcons will take this one. Probably a little bit of an upset, but I just didn't like what I saw from the Saints last week. I think that honeymoon phase is over in the beginning of the year. They had a great start, but, man, they just didn't look good against the Eagles. Moving on, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars. Again, might be the worst team in football right now, taking on the Houston Texans at home. Again, the Texans have done anything but impress me so far this year, but I think they take this one pretty easily. Again, as a Bills fan, I was at that game. I saw the Jacksonville Jaguars live and in person, and boy, oh boy, that team just looks disinterested and terrible on the field. So give me the Texans big here. Moving on, we have the Denver Broncos taking on the Jets in New York. Again, as a Bills fan, I'm not going to show any bias here. I actually think Aaron Rodgers has looked really good so far this season. He doesn't look as old as he is. He looks like he still has that step or two to get around the defenders, and that's all he needs, right? He's not going to be a mobile quarterback, but if he still has the quickness to avoid that sack, he's one of the smartest quarterbacks in the game. So give me the Jets here pretty big against the Broncos. The next one we have here is the Minnesota Vikings, who they might be the hottest team in football, taking on the Green Bay Packers at Lambeau. Now, this is a tough game for both teams. This might be game of the week. Again, the Packers all of a sudden look really good with Malik Willis. I mean, they might be the best team in football. This is a great game. I am going to take, this is a tough one, but I'm going to take the Green Bay Packers at home. I think they keep it going. Again, if it was at Minnesota, I'd pick Minnesota. That's how close this one is. I'm going to give Green Bay the benefit of the doubt with the home field advantage. I know, kind of a lame pick there, just, going off gut instinct, but that's what I'm going to do. I think Sam Darnold, there's no way he continues to play at the level he is. I like Sam Darnold. I wish him the best, but I don't think this lasts as long as some people think. Moving on, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers, the undefeated Pittsburgh Steelers, that is. How, I don't know. Taking on the Indianapolis Colts in the Loud House in Indianapolis. Give me the Colts here to end the Steelers' undefeated streak. Again, Anthony Richardson looks kind of bad so far this year. His decision-making just hasn't been there. But Jonathan Taylor, I think, will carry this team. The team's defense is pretty solid, too. Give me the Colts here to end the Steelers' undefeated season. Next game up here, we have the LA Rams in Chicago to take on the Bears. Again, the Bears have looked decent but not great. Caleb Williams does not look great so far this year. Again, he shows the ability to extend plays, but he just has that rookie tendency where he doesn't know when to get rid of the ball, and it's cost him a couple times. Again, had 1 or 2 bad interceptions last week. The Rams, on the other hand, just went in and had a comeback win against the Niners. Give me the Rams on the road here to edge this one out. Moving on, we have the Philadelphia Eagles in Tampa Bay to take on the Buccaneers. Now, I have Baker Mayfield in 2 of my fantasy leagues, and he put up an absolute stinker last week. That whole Buccaneers team did it, in specifically there. And, I got to take the Eagles here. The Eagles look good against the Saints. They didn't really have the offensive power that you would like to see from that Eagles team, but Dallas Goedert had his breakout game, so I will take the Eagles here, and I expect the Eagles to win this one pretty big. Now moving on to the 4 o'clock slate on the Sunday here, we have the New England Patriots going in to Levi Stadium to take on the San Francisco 49ers. Again, I got to take the San Francisco 49ers here. The Patriots, again, they're a decent team, but they just, they don't have talent in any specific position group. They're just kind of a mid team. So give me the Niners to bounce back here. Although it does look like Christian McCaffrey is going to be out longer than the experts thought in the beginning of the year. He is going to Germany to get that Achilles tendon looked at. So again, if you've drafted McCaffrey and made that mistake again, I apologize, but you got to know by now, McCaffrey is not going to be on the field the entirety of the season. So unfortunately for him, again, I love Christian McCaffrey. He's such a fun player to watch, but looks like another season where he's not going to see the field, at least for a good amount of it. Again, we don't know, though. So, yeah, give me the 49ers there. Next game, we have the Washington Commanders in Arizona to take on the Cardinals. This is going to be a great game, in my opinion. The Commanders look like they might be a sleeper playoff team. The Cardinals, on the other hand, they've kept it close. They look like a very solid team. I'm going to take the Cardinals here at home. I think it's going to be very close. I think the Commanders have a very good shot of winning this game, so it's a toss-up for me. I'll take the Cardinals. The next game is the Chiefs at the Chargers. Now, this one, again, unfortunately, Derwin James was suspended a game, and of course, it happens to be the game against the Chiefs. The Chiefs, back-to-back weeks, have gotten favorable calls, and, they are still undefeated. The Cincinnati win, that was PI, but again, Atlanta should have won that game. Even with that blown pass interference call, Atlanta still should have won that game, and it was just a mix of bad coaching, bad execution, and the referees there. Give me the Chiefs on the road, though. I think they handle the Chargers, a team that has looked solid, but they didn't really look good against the Steelers, and they had Easton Stick playing quarterback for half of that game as well. So hopefully Justin Herbert can heal up a little bit. Moving on, we have the Browns in Las Vegas to take on the Raiders. Oh boy, we have 2 teams that collapsed and got upset last week. Again, the Browns losing to the Giants, the Raiders losing to the Panthers. Give me the Raiders at home, though. I think the Raiders bounce back. I don't know why I'm picking this. I guess just, Raiders Nation. I really don't know. This is a tough one because, again, the Browns have the talent, but they've just looked so bad this season. Again, it's just one of those teams where, I want to pick them every week, and then I just look at their last week result, and it just doesn't work. So give me the Panthers. I think they're thoroughly embarrassed that they lost. Or, no, the Raiders, I mean. I think they're thoroughly embarrassed that they lost to the Panthers, so give me the Raiders there. Moving on to Sunday Night Football, we have the red-hot Buffalo Bills taking on the Baltimore Ravens, who finally got their first win last week against the Cowboys. Another game of the week potential here, but give me the Bills very close. I think the Bills win this one, maybe by 3 or 4 or 5 points. Moving on to our double Monday Night Football slate. Again, another week where we have 2 Monday Night Football games. The first one, we have the Tennessee Titans and Will Levis taking on the Miami Dolphins and Skylar Thompson. Oh boy, this is not going to be a fun game to watch. I guess I'll take the Titans here on the road. The Dolphins looked uninspiring as always when Tua's out against their last week opponent in the Seattle Seahawks. So yeah, give me the Titans here, very close though. I can see this one going either way. Again, all I'm interested in is to see if we get our Will Levis picture of the week. And rounding out this week, we have the Seattle Seahawks in Detroit to take on the Lions. Give me the Lions here. Again, another close game, another game that, will be back and forth for a little bit, but I think the Lions pull this one out pretty easily at the end. So that is it for now. Be sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching these videos. I love making these picks, and again, it's kind of just off the dome picks. So let me know in the comments what you think, if you agree or disagree. Thank you so much, and peace out.